Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for the uh, higher national security, cybersecurity diploma, been organized by IDVIM Foundation in association with ECCS. Before starting with this webinar, let me talk in short about IDVIM, that is Igniting Dreams of Young Minds Foundation. It is a foundation that has been working in all the 195 countries of the world, and its main motto is to impart satellite education among the students, and it has been doing it since nearly 4 years. Yes, the speciality of today is it is the fourth anniversary of ITY, and it's a great day for us to be present in this webinar with all the people who have joined us for here for the cybersecurity diploma. And of course, with IT Bion, let me say that it was founded by engineer Ravi Shankar sir, and we have the CEO, the very dynamic Dana Asmi, and Zenith Ma'am, and the whole team who have been working tirelessly, and especially the Chandrayaan that has been going on, that is very successful. So let's start with my topic today, because today is, as we know, that we are discussing about cybersecurity. Today, I will be speaking on about how data privacy and data breaches uh, play a great role. So, because why I choose this topic is we know that everywhere we are around a lot of data. Before that, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Anjali Qureshi from India, and for sharing. I'm assistant professor at the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering at Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering, Research and Technology, Singapore, this is in India. And of course, besides that, I'm a certified life coach and meditation trainer, career coach, and parenting coach. So yes, to come to my topic, data privacy and cybersecurity. We know that when the computers came into being, and after that, they started with the data. Data was there even earlier. That we had a lot of data that was being used, because data is anything that we I will speak it. We are passing on some data. We are writing, and we are passing on some data. And the greatest amount of data that is being passed nowadays is through the images, through the videos, which we are either posting or sharing through the social media, through our laptops, or sometimes through our mobiles. So we all have been transmitting. So we can say that nowadays the uh, data is being floating everywhere there is data. And because of this, there is a lot of lot of importance that is being given to data analysis and about data science and about big data, because the amount of data that is being transferred every day, or that is being transmitted and received every day, has increased considerably. And so, when we are using these internet-enabled devices, and when we are exchanging so much of data, we're exchanging data, we are processing data, so it becomes very necessary to talk about data privacy and data breaches. So, since the computers came into being, the data is this is a word which is most of the times being used for information. So this information is stored somewhere. This information can be transmitted or received by the people. But it is not only what we call as data, because yes, it exists in different forms. So because we know that the information that we are passing from one place to other, it is in different forms, in different manners, in different patterns. So, and with the growth in the field of technology, especially after the smartphones came into being, we started with using the not only just the text, but audio, video, images, and plus there are different types of browsers that we are using, different types of applications that we are using. So meaning of data has grown beyond the term called as information. So when we call as data, it also includes processing the data and transmitting and receiving the data. So yes, coming to the topic that is data privacy. Data privacy means the ability of a person to determine for themselves when, how, and to what extent personal information about them is shared or communicated to others. And this is personal information. It can be your name, or it can be your house address, your contact numbers, or any other information that you have sometimes shared online. Because nowadays, when we do, like for example, if we have online shopping, so in that we put not just our phone numbers, but we also use our personal data that is we are putting our name, we are putting our house address. So knowingly, unknowingly, we are putting a lot of private data on the online world. So now this as a image to exclude people from private conversation, many online users want to control or prevent certain types of personal data collection. Like for example, in the real life, if you know you try you like interacting with people. Sometimes you may not like interacting with the people. And if you don't like someone or you don't like interacting with one, so you have choices. Similarly, when everywhere with the coming of those online terms and with the building up of technology, when the people are asked to share their data, yes, the users or the people, they have the right to decide what kind of data should be shared on the online platform and which data should be avoided. So as the in usage of internet has increased, similarly, the importance of data privacy is also increasing day by day because the website, the applications, the social media platforms, we know that they are collecting data. And not just data, we can say a lot of personal data about users is being used. Because when we take admission to a school or college, yes, of course, we have to give the data there. Like we are giving a personal data over there because we are giving our name, your address, our email ID, our phone numbers. Similarly, if you're going to a bank, of course, you will be giving all this data. And even in the shopping malls and all, we are sharing our name, we are sharing our contact ID. So everywhere, this all these organizations, we can say, are they are using our data, and of course, they are providing services to us. So, what is the importance of data privacy? So, we know that every day, we are sharing so much of data about us with the rest of the world, and we never know how this data is being used. So, it is very important to know what is the importance of data privacy. So, in many jurisdictions, privacy is considered a fundamental human right. Yes, we know that there are many human rights. We talk about human rights, we talk about fundamental rights. So, data privacy in the modern world has become a fundamental human right, and data protection laws are there to guard that right. And in order for the individuals to be willing to engage online, they have to trust that their personal data will be handled with care. Of course, that we are doing it every day. Because when we are putting our data in there, you must have seen that there is a message which says that your data won't be forwarded to any third party. But we don't know whether it is happening or not. But obviously, when we are posting our data, we have that trust on the particular site that our data will not be shared with anyone else. And but there is another thing when we talk about data privacy, because yes, criminals can use the personal data to defraud or harass the users. The entities may sell the personal data to advertisers or other outside parties without the user consent, which can result in the user receiving unwanted marketing or advertising. And when the person activities, they are tracked and monitored. This may restrict their ability to express themselves freely, especially under the repressive governance. And for individuals and business, these outcomes can irreparably uh, harm their reputation as well as resulting in fines, sanctions, and other legal consequences. And of course, this you must have experienced that sometimes we never know how we start getting calls, and especially for the advertisements or the marketing purposes. We get calls nearly every day, and we never know how the data reaches there, how our names, how our phone numbers reaches there. We get a call and they talk in such a friendly manner. They will think, "Oh, you are Mister So and So. Oh, hi, how are you?" And we feel as if someone who knows us is speaking to us, but that is really an unknown person. So this is where somewhere without our knowledge, our data is being shared with others. So when we talk about data privacy, yes, of course there are laws that govern data privacy. Among that, the first one, well, there are some laws, there are some regulations that have been made by the different countries, but I would just like to highlight some of them. The first one is the General Data Protection Regulation, which is called as the GDPR. It regulates how the personal data of European Union data subjects, meaning individuals, can be collected, stored, and processed, and gives data subjects rights to control their personal data, including a right to be forgotten. The next one is national data protection laws. Many countries, such as Canada, Japan, Australia, Singapore, and others, have comprehensive data protection laws in some form. Some, like Brazil's General Law for the Protection of Personal Data and UK's Data Protection Act, are quite similar to the GDPR. The next thing that I would like to discuss is the California Consumer Privacy Act, that is CCPA. It requires what consumers be made aware of what personal data is collected and gives consumers control over their personal data, including a right to tell organizations not to sell their personal data. Yes, of course, it's very important because we trust on the organization and share our data. So it is very much important that the organization don't divert our data or transfer our data somewhere else. And there are also industry-specific privacy guidelines in some countries. For example, in the United States, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act governs how a person's healthcare data should be handled. Yes, this is very important because the healthcare data, if you can see, like the insurance agency, for example, the insurance agencies, they have our data and they maintain a record of our health. If you're taking a medical term insurance, so these companies will be maintaining our health data. So, and sometimes those companies also use our health data from the organizations dealing with the healthcare, and they may try to contact us. So everything is possible over here. So yes, of course, when we talk about there should be laws, especially because we are always careful about health. We are always worried about health. So yes, of course, worrying about healthcare data should be there. Then importance of data privacy. Sorry. just- Yeah. The next thing is just a difference between why or the relation between why cybersecurity or information security is important and the data privacy. Cybersecurity or information security, sometimes it is also called as information security. It refers to the measures that are taken to protect a computer or computer system against unauthorized access of a hacker. So we need a robust cybersecurity policy that will secure critical or sensitive data and will prevent from falling into the hands of some third party. Not just third party, we can say we should try to prevent the passing on of data to the malicious third party. And data privacy, if we talk on its basic level, it is consumers' understanding of their rights as to how their personal information is collected, used, stored, and shared. Yes, this is data privacy. We have to share the data, but it is also our right to know, and it is also our understanding where we can decide how much data should be shared by us and how that data is being used by the other party. And the use of personal information must be explained to consumers in a simple and transparent manner. And in most cases, consumers must give their consent before their personal information is provided. In fact, yes, we don't realize it. But, like for example, if you try to download an app in your mobile, you must have seen that you just download any app. So you must have seen there are messages that are coming on which says that this app will have an access to your messages or this app will have an access to your calls, to your contacts. So these are all the cases or these are all the instances where your personal information is provided to others. So whenever you are downloading an app on your mobile, please remember that your personal data is shared with everyone of you. So these are the some of the fair information practices. First one is collection limitation. There should be limits to how much personal data can be collected. The second is data quality. Personal data, when collected, should be accurate and related to the purpose it is being used for. The third is purpose specification. The user for personal data should be specified. Fourth is use limitation. Data should not be used for purposes other than what was specified. Security safeguards. Data should be kept secure. Then next is openness, in which the personal data collection and usage should not be kept secret from the individuals. Individual participation, because yes, individuals have a number of rights, including the right to know who has their personal data, to have their data communicated with them, to know why a request for their data is denied, and to have their personal data corrected or erased. And the next one is accountability, because anyone who collects the data should be held accountable for implementing this principle. When we talk about data privacy, there are some issues that are faced by users like us, common people, and there are some challenges that are faced by the business organization. So, challenges faced by the users. The first one is online tracking. You must have seen that the people share their location. You just share that, okay, I am at this, I am watching a movie at this in this theater. Or sometimes the people share the location saying that you are having a pizza at this restaurant. So that you are actually sharing your location. So you are enabling the hackers to know what your lifestyle is and what you like and where you want to be. So when you are sharing all these things on in an online platform, you are actually enabling others to track you, to know what you are doing. The second, and this is losing control of data, because we never know how much data you are sharing. When you keep on sharing your images, sharing your videos, audios, and especially like if we see like nowadays, there is a trend of making reels and making uploading reels on Instagram and uploading videos on YouTube. So you never know how much data you are uploading each and every day on these online platforms. So here is, of course, comes the social media, we can say, because we have been sharing all the data without having control, without knowing, and actually we are breaching our privacy by our acts. And when you are doing this, you are actually inviting the attackers for the cybercrime. Then challenges that are faced by business, yes, of course. Sometimes these challenges arise due to the communication gap that is existing between the organizations. So, of course, and sometimes the persons working at the leadership positions, they are not able to convey regarding the kind of uh, uh, the data privacy right, the risk of data breaches that must be there, or the risk of attacks that must be there. So they are not able to communicate it to the people, either working on their organization, or they are not able to communicate it with their clients, or with their users, or with their customers. And sometimes the organizations have to face this kind of risk or this kind of dangers. And yes, even here the cybercrime is there, the data breaches are there, and sometimes also the insider threats, because the persons who are working in that organization, they may also due to some reasons, due to some personal reasons, without telling anyone else, they might share the data, or they might sell the data, or they might try to hack the system. So there are some insider threats also that are existing, and these are some of the challenges that are faced by the business. When we talk about data privacy, yes, of course, we know that the data privacy issues that we are having, this is as I said, the technology, the advancement of technology that has come over here and has arisen with that. And yes, technology is again an answer to deal with this data privacy issues that we have been facing every day. First one is encryption. Encryption, it is a way to conceal information by scrambling it so that it appears to be random data. Only parties with the encryption key can unscramble the information. So here, if I would like to explain, here the data is not shared in its exact form. Like for example, when here on the slide, you can just read whatever is written. But this same content, when I am forwarding it, then a particular type of code is being used. And with the when they use that code, the normal persons will not be able to read it. No one we can say that normal persons will not be able to read it. And so that is called as encryption. Means you are not, means you are sharing the data in some kind of coding, we can say in some kind of code language. Then the next one is access control that ensures that only authorized parties access systems and data. And access control can be combined with data loss prevention to stop sensitive data from leaving the network. Then we have the two-factor authentication, and it is one of the most important technologies for regular users, as it makes it hard for the attackers to gain unauthorized access to the personal accounts. And I think you must have seen this many of times, especially when we are using our Gmail IDs. That when you try to log into the Gmail with your password, there is an OTP that is being sent to your mobile. So that is a two-factor authentication method that is being used. So there are some data privacy principles. So first one is the collection purpose and means. So where the personal data is collected for an intent that is directly related to the data user's function or activity. And it must also be collected legally and equitably. And when personal data is collected, the purpose for which the data is used must be disclosed to the data subject. And data collection should, of course, be necessary but not excessive. Accuracy and retention. Data users must ensure personal data is accurate and should not be kept longer than necessary. And use, that is private data, must be used for the purpose for which the data is collected or for a directly related purpose. It should not be used for any other purpose unless voluntary and explicit consent is obtained from the data subject. Here are some of the data privacy principles. First one is security. Moreover, data users need to adopt security measures to safeguard personal data from unauthorized and accidental access, processing, and loss of use. The second one is openness. The data users must make personal data policies and practices known to the public regarding the types of personal data they hold and know the data is used. Data access and corrections, where data subjects have the right to request access to and correction of their data. If a data user contravenes the 6 data protection principles, then the Privacy Commissioner must serve an enforcement notice on it. Protecting your company from a cybersecurity attack, that is again very essential. You have to keep your data safe, and you must be using a password protection program, and you should keep, in fact, you should be having strong passwords with it. And the strong password, mostly we know that where the password should be combination of alphabets, that lowercase and uppercase alphabets. You should be having some symbols, you should be having some numbers, and you should keep on updating your password. It's not that you make a password and you keep on continuing for years. The next one is you should keep on updating the security softwares because yes, because the security softwares, or we can say like we use the antivirus protection, the firewalls that should be used. And employee training, because it has been found that many people, though they must be working in a place where a lot of data is being used and it is being exchanged, but still they are not aware of it. So they should be knowing about what is data privacy, what is cybersecurity, what are the attacks, and how the different types of attacks may affect them. So they should be managed. And yes, of course, data encryption should be there, because we know that by data encryption, the data is being transmitted in some form with a key. So it is very, sometimes it is difficult for the hackers, even the hackers, to know it. And yes, these are some of the common warning signs of a cybersecurity attack. Firstly, if when we are using some system, when we are using a device, or when you're using your mobile, just see for some unusual behavior. If you see a number of ads that are being popped up on the screen, so they are some kind of, there's some kind of attacks that has been happening. And the next one is investigate suspicious file. Whenever you find some suspicious link, most of the time we get a warning that this might be suspicious and you should be cautious where before clicking those links. So you must be knowing about the suspicious link. You should avoid downloading the data until and unless you trust that link and you know where that link has come from. If you are getting some links from some unknown persons or from some unknown person, so it is better to avoid downloading the data from those sites. Especially when you get a message that this might be dangerous, it is better to avoid it. Until and unless it is very essential, please don't try to do it. And you should be having software, antivirus software installed on your systems, and you should regularly scan the systems whenever you are using some external memory devices like the pen drives. You should be scanning the memory system, and you should keep on checking your credit too. So coming to the next thing, when we talk about data privacy, yes, of course, there are chances of data breach. So a data breach exposes your confidential, sensitive, or protected information to an unauthorized person. The files in a data breach are viewed or shared without permission. In general, data breaches happen due to weaknesses in technology and also the user behavior. And many smart home products have gapping flaws like lack of encryption, and hackers are taking the advantage. Your smart home products here mean that nowadays we have technology that is called as the Internet of Things, IoT. And when we use the IoT technique for the home automation systems, where all the devices are being connected to internet. You can be monitoring the devices, the appliances at your home through your phones. So when we are using this kind of technologies, yes, the sometimes they may lack encryption, and there are chances of getting hacked. There are chances of data being breached. And especially when we talk about IoT, so every time we know that when we are working with IoT, a lot of data is being flowing over the network. You can see. So yes, there. So we should be very careful when we are using this smartphone product. And since the new digital product services and tools are being used with minimal security testing, we will continue to see this problem grow. Yes, because the technology has advanced and the people want to use these devices, but still the awareness regarding security, the awareness regarding the using the security the software is less, and sometimes the organizations tend to neglect it due to the cost involved in it. And we, the customers, we, the users, sometimes we are never aware of the security principles being adopted by the organizations. We never question about it, and we keep on using these devices. So we should be aware of it. And because the number of users of the smart devices is increasing, along with that, the problem of data privacy and data breaches will increase certainly. So here, there are some of the reasons for the data breach. First one is accidental insider. An example would be an employee using a co-worker's computer and reading files without having proper authorization permissions. The access is unintentional, but no information is shared. However, because it was viewed by an unauthorized person, the data is considered to be breached. The second is a malicious insider. This person purposely will access and you share the data with the intent of causing harm to an individual or company. The malicious insider may legitimate authorization of the data, but the intent is to use the information in nefarious ways. The next is lost or stolen devices. So it may happen with every one of us. So our laptops or the tablets or the mobile phones. So if we have unencrypted, unlocked such devices, external hard drive, anything that that has sensitive information and it goes missing. So yes, those can be again become a reason for data breaching. And malicious outside criminals. So these are the hackers who use various attack vectors to gather information from a network or an individual. So coming to the next slide, that is malicious method used to breach the data. First one is phishing. These social engineering attacks are designed to fool you into causing a data breach. Phishing attackers pose as people of organizations you trust to easily deceive you. Criminals of this nature try to coax you into handing over access to sensitive data to provide the data itself. Yes, many times this has been observed that you get a call as if someone is calling you from a bank or someone is calling from the insurance agency where you have got some insurance. And these persons ask for some sensitive information like your birth date, or sometimes they might be asking the OTP for your debit cards and the passwords for your debit card. And in this case, there are many people who have lost their money into it. So yes, this might happen. And then the brute force attacks. So in a more brash approach, hackers might enter software tools to get your passwords. Yes, you in the first case where you are passing on the sensitive information unknowingly to something else, but in this type of attack, the hackers use their own techniques to guess your passwords and to guess your OTPs. You have to work through all the possibilities. What they do is they work through all the possibilities for your password until they guess correctly. For example, most of the time, what the people do is whenever you keep a password, mostly the people prefer to keep either their name or their date of birth as a password, or sometimes the name of their spouse or the name of the children as the password and the birthdays as the password. So the attackers try to guess this. They try to guess this. Okay, this is the person's name and this is the date of birth. So they try to use those combinations, and sometimes they may be doing this. So these attacks, well, it will take time. It is not that just in a single click they will be doing it. This may take time, but they have become rapid as computer speeds continue to improve. Hackers even hijack another devices like yours through malware infections to speed up the process. So if your password is weak, it might only take a few seconds to crack it. So try to have strong passwords, which should be a combination of the alphabets, the numbers, and also some special characters. And malware in which your device operating system, hardware, software, or the network and the service we are connected to can have security flaws. These gaps in protection are sought out by criminals as the perfect place to show malware into it. Spyware specifically is ideal for stealing private data while being completely undetected. You might not find this infection until it's too late. Some common vulnerabilities targeted by the malicious criminals. First one is the weak credentials. The vast majority of data breaches are caused by stolen or weak credentials. If malicious criminals have your username and password combination, they have an open door into your network because most people reuse passwords. So I said earlier, try to keep on changing your passwords. And the cyber criminals can use brute forces to gain entrance to email, websites, your bank accounts, and other sources of PII or financial information. The stolen credentials with the breaches caused by phishing are a major security issue, and if cyber criminals get hold of this personal information, they can use it to access things like your bank and online accounts, and of course, compromise assets. Various malware attacks are used to negate regular authentication steps that would normally protect a computer. And there are incidents that, without your knowledge, the camera of your laptop may get hacked or a webcam may get hacked, and you never know, and that camera records everything. So you have to be very careful about it. Then some more common vulnerabilities, the payment card fraud. Yes, of course, the card skin is attached to gas pumps or uh, they try to steal the data. So whenever you're scratching a card, whether it is a debit card or credit card, whenever you're scratching it somewhere, you have to be very careful for it. Then the third party access, although you may do everything possible to keep your network and data secure, but still there are malicious criminals who can use the third party vendors to make their way into your system. Then the mobile devices, when the employees are allowed to bring their own devices. So yes, this is a concept BYOD into the workplace. It is easy for unsecured devices to download malware-laden apps that can give hackers to data stored on the device. That often includes work, email, and files, as well as the honest PII. When we learn about the data breach, of course, we know that there is a lot of damage that can be caused by this. So for business organization, a data breach can have a devastating effect on an organization reputation and financial bottom line. There are organizations like Equifax, Target, and Yahoo, for example, have been the victims of data breach. And you know that those are all very famous organizations. And today, many people remember those companies for the data breach incident itself rather than their actual business operation. For government organizations, compromised data can mean exposing highly confidential information to foreign parties. Military operations, political political dealings, and details on essential national infrastructure can pose a major threat to governance, government, and citizens. And for individuals, if you talk, identity theft is a major threat to data breach victims. Data leaks can reveal everything from social security numbers to banking information. And once a criminal has all these details, they can engage into all types of frauds under your name. Theft of your identity can ruin your credit, pin you with legal issues, and it is difficult to fight back against. So we can say it's better to always prevent being a victim of this data breaching. So how can you be doing it? Patching and updating the software as soon as the options are available. Don't wait for the last day to arrive. Always keep on updating your softwares, keep on updating your computers because it is always better that you have the updated softwares, right? Then high-grade encryption for sensitive data, then upgrading your devices when the software is no longer supported by the manufacturing, enforcing bring your own device security policies while requiring all devices to use business-grade virtual private network service and antivirus protection, enforcing strong credentials and multi-factor authentication to encourage better user cybersecurity practices, and encouraging users to start using a password manager can help. Then, educating the employees on best security practices and ways to avoid socially engineered attacks. So, when we talk about cybersecurity, yes, I'd just like to mention in short about the careers that are available with the cybersecurity. Because cyber attacks are an unfortunate reality faced by the modern business, especially since it's estimated that less than 1% of incidents result in enforcements taken against the attackers. Cybersecurity professionals play an essential role in safeguarding company data, reducing risk, and avoiding penalties due to non-compliance. For current and aspiring cybersecurity professionals, education is one of the ways to stand out when applying for a job, and some schools are offering accelerated options. The need for cybersecurity pros is expected to continue growing. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects employment of information security specialists to grow 33% from 2020 to 2030. And with this, we come to the end of this session, where I would like to conclude by saying that securing data from the malicious attack has been attracting worldwide attention. In the past few decades, one topic in information security has been grabbing everyone's attention, and that is data privacy. Its mission is to build awareness and promote proper data collection, privacy, and protection practices. And additionally, data privacy is crucial since believing that their information is being handled responsibly is essential for people who aspire to exist online. It should not be used for any purpose unless voluntary and explicit consent is obtained from data subject. And the Data Privacy Acts are there that protect individuals from unauthorized processing of personal information that is private and not publicly available. So thank you everyone for your patient listening, and these are some of the references that I have. Thank you very much. So thank you everyone for your patient listening. And so this was the fourth session that we were having that was about data privacy and cybersecurity. So thank you, Vanan. And I would also like to thank the founder of ITVIM, Engineer Ravi Shankar sir, for this wonderful opportunity to share my knowledge with all of you. And it is great to have people like you who want to learn more about this topic. Thank you, Bala.